what I call the palimpsest wall, and that is because it contains a lot of texts, some of them one written over the other in different layers, and it also shows that in 1,000 years ago it was not considered illegal to write on the walls. Here we have the text of Matthai and Jakub, this part. Here a lengthy text of a visitor from Mosul who describes his visit to the monastery and asks for the reader to remember him in their prayers. And to my opinion, the reason that especially this wall is so full of inscriptions has to do with the fact that the traditional place for the relics in the church is this corner. Oh. So here you see an 18th century relic shrine, but I think originally the relics were placed here as well. There is an old box, a 10th century relic box, which is now in the store of the museum, which has exactly the size of this niche. So I presume that it has always been the place where the relics were kept, where people came to pray, and that therefore the prayers that they would write on the wall and their wishes to be commemorated and so on were also written especially here. And well, also here there is still probably a lot more waiting for us. Also here, if you look up, beautiful face of an angel. Also 8th century painting. In other words, this whole wall still has quite something to hide from us. Well, you see,
will not be. There isn't enough room in the museum for all of this, right?
No, but I hope these paintings can stay here. I'm not planning to take them away. Well, in other words, as you can see here, the story is not yet finished. We still have quite a lot of things to do, and it would be nice if I could show you the same place again in 5 years' time and show you some more things. Yes, the privilege of the architect of this building is also with us. So I would like to ask Dr. Sami Sabri to tell something about his design and the reasons why and how he designed this building as it is.
Okay. Well, in fact, I'm taking too many credits for it, but the original design was prepared by Munir Abdofam, the young architect who designed the church, the cathedral, the new cathedral that we have seen while entering here. And it was reviewed by Bishop Samuel, who died nearly 7 or 8 years ago, and he was my professor teaching me Coptic architecture since I didn't get the chance to learn it in Cairo University. It's not taught anywhere, in fact, in Egyptian universities anyway. And then I took the chance to, or I was granted the chance to modify the design and to introduce few items. First of all, we had to design something contextual. So I reduced the height of everything in terms of vault domes and everything so that it will respect all the surrounding. We have just in the southern part here, we have what is known as the refectory, and it is roofed with 2 historic domes, and we had to really respect the height. And the second thing was to design the church itself that we have just seen, and Dr. Karl gracefully described it and described all the wall paintings in it. We had to replicate the same so that we can put the 3 apses in their proper location. This one will be in the northern apse. There is another space for the southern apse of the chorus, and then the western wall painting that was taken out from the Annunciation that we have just seen in the western part of the church. And we also designed 2 columns, cylindrical, and they are the only 2 cylindrical columns. One is here and one is there, so that they also can take whatever is expected to be. This is what we've been told, that there might be some circular or cylindrical wall painting. The rest was to create with the existing roofing system a reflector, so that we don't need any, as you can see here, we're not using any artificial lighting during the day. We don't need it. The oval dome on top of us here will work as a reflector, and it will reflect the daylight to this one, to this apse as well, to the opposite apse here. And same thing here, we were quite afraid that the eastern sun, which is somehow quite low and strong, might really affect the wall painting. And this is why we have created quite a long path with different heights also of vaults. So we have a vault, and then the apse is slightly higher, so that the possibility of being hit by direct sun rays will not occur. The rest is also, as you can see, illuminated with very little and tiny windows that will not affect the wall paintings. We used the brick to accentuate the domes and the arches, just to give it a sense of historic feeling, but they are not really bricks that, I mean, they are contemporary bricks, but it's just the feeling. As you will see, there is always a difference between the vaults and domes to create some sort of skylighting, or not really skylighting, clear story windows that will illuminate the wall inside. That's all. Thank you. Reflected that the glass has been etched on the glass, so it will be reflected on the wall here.
So the domes are concrete, actually?
No, we have the foundation are made of reinforced concrete, and then we have a masonry wall, on top of it a brick wall, and then we have a concrete beam surrounding all the base of the, like a ring, underneath every dome and vault, so that they will be connected together. And then we have the brick wall on top. We provided a space so that the wall painting, after being gathered and placed here, there will be air circulating between the wall painting and the external surface, so there wouldn't be any light.
For example, these are the real building of the dome. It's not just decorative like the arches here.
This is brick. Yes, this is brick.
So the dome itself is actually
brick.
from brick.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it has been plastered so that it will be clean and easy to maintain.
The painting has been covered over with restoration.
You have to ask Dr. Karen for that.
Yes, I can tell you about the procedure of removing the
That's interesting.
well, as you see, the painting in the western part, by the way, thank you very much. But maybe there are more questions to you. So before
You have
continuing,
any question regarding the construction?
I want to tell you it's a beautiful lighting. Thank you very much. It's not beautiful.
By the way, even the cupboards here for, exhibiting artifacts and whatever, they are illuminated naturally, indirectly, and you can't see the source of light in it.
We wish we'd have more architecture like this in old constructions in Cairo and new ones neighboring them.
The most difficult part was to create the oval dome,
Yeah.
because it's easier to build a circular or have a spherical dome, but really when it comes to oval dome, we had to give him cross-section every 40 or 30 centimeters, so that he can identify the radius for it, and it was new for them. The plates, these are plates from Fatimid Cairo, the color plates. These are colored glass, and we just locate them on top of a PVC pipe that we cut, and then the brick builder left the space clean, and then we just located the colored glass on top of
Very
the cylinder.
Well, the thing is that it's a very multifunctional building, and I can assure you it's a very nice place to work in. Right now you have the impression of being in a church, and in fact the painting contributed to this idea, and also the idea behind the museum is that these paintings should be brought back in a church-like environment and not in a completely museum-like atmosphere.
There is an altar in here.
Well,
There is an altar in here. I
yes,
think
it is.
for a
This
month.
is a recent addition.
Santa Caras. It's
by one of the fathers who wanted to use this as a chapel. But usually this is our working space. And what you see now behind these wooden fences there is where all our working material is stored. And next time when we come back here, you will see that everything here will be full of working tables, machines, and so on. And so it is a museum, a workshop, and at the moment temporarily a chapel. This is where also the wooden doors were treated. So they were brought from the church here, and here we were working on them. The painting, which used to stand in the church for years, was brought here after the building was finished. And we have reassembled it from 3 large pieces, put it together on a new support and lifted it to its present place. What we did was, in that